Welcome to Engagement Fundraising, where you'll learn how busy fundraisers like you are generating more major and planned gifts at lower costs. Brought to you by iMarketSmart.com. Be the fundraiser you always wanted to be. A quick announcement. As a listener of the podcast, we are making the Engagement Fundraising audiobook available to you free of charge. Just go to iMarketSmart.com/exclusive-podcast-offer. As a thank you for listening, we wanted to give everyone free access to Greg's Engagement Fundraising audiobook that you can get on Audible or Apple Books for $15. Once again, just visit iMarketSmart.com/exclusive-podcast-offer. That's iMarketSmart.com/exclusive-podcast-offer. Thanks for listening to the podcast, and we hope you enjoy Greg's book. Now, on to the episode.
Tim, I'm tired.
It's been a busy time.
It's like holiday season now. Everybody, gotta close the gifts. Year end.
It's very special, this constructive months that our society has put everyone into.
Right? Right? I saw a comedian. He was like, I think the Christians won.
Because the year ends right after Christmas.
He's like, they won. They got, we're all on their timeline. Yeah, I don't know. Who was that? Bill Burr, something like that. Okay, yeah, it's year end. But we're not going to talk about year end right now.
No.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about something that's applicable all the time.
We're going to talk about something that really bothers me, really irks me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It took me a while to really think about how do I respond to fundraisers when they ask this question or they get frustrated with me. They get frustrated with us.
And they're probably frustrated with the situation and not thinking through how to solve it.
Yeah. They're like little robots. They just kind of keep walking into the wall, bong, and then they turn around and then bong, and then they, and they get the same results. Yeah. And they're bad results. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about the people, and it's usually in the legacy gift world, the plan giving directors. Mm-hmm. And I've had them come up to me at the conference. They're like, well, Greg, we really like your system and generated all these leads and they're highly qualified. Blah, blah. And as a bonus, we ended up getting disclosure. We got 54 legacy gift disclosures or 1,000. No, I don't think we ever got 1,000. But they get so many, right?
Yeah. Some of them see this as a problem because they can't get in touch with all of them.
Well, they see it as a problem because they want to go do their job. And they think that their job is to go get a confirmation or something signed or find out what the value is or how did they make the gift. Or they'll say, well, I just want to thank them. I just want to thank them. Right?
Yeah.
So I know I'm going to there's heads listening to this that are just exploding. They're like...
They're yelled in their car.
And they're like, well, that is my job. I am supposed to get it documented and I am supposed to understand, and I am this and I am that. And I do just want to thank them. Okay. It's funny because everything you just... I'm pretending I'm talking to a fundraiser right now. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, everything you just said started with I. So if everything that you just said starts with I, there's a problem.
Where's the donor? There's no donor in I.
Well, if I get to thank them, then the donor gets to be thanked. Everybody wants to be thanked. No, they don't. This is the real problem. And I know fundraisers are frustrated. It's because they don't have any leadership to teach them anything. Mm-hmm. No, leadership. The leadership, in fact, does the opposite of teaching them. The leadership, it encourages them. It sends them with marching orders. Get the disclosure. I don't care that you got 54 people who answered your survey or whatever and said that they left our organization. I don't really care. That's really nice, but show me the money and show me the documentation. Did you get the documentation? Did you thank them? Did you thank them? Huh? Don't you know everybody wants to be thanked? Did you thank them? You need to call them. You need to thank them.
That kind of culture may lessen that number.
Yeah. It's like, and meanwhile, I'm still sure even this far, but I'm being really razzy about this. I'm like being all salty. Okay, let me get to the punchline, okay? Mm-hmm. The donor doesn't give a shit about what you want and need.
Yeah.
And they might not want to be thanked.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a fundraiser. I said, so hold on. Tell me the call that you made. Do it for me. Like, let's pretend. I'm going to pretend I'm the donor. You call me. Let's pretend. I'll go over here and I'll pretend that I'm the donor. And I filled out the thing on the form that says that I left a legacy gift for the organization.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. I'm the donor. I don't know you. I don't know you, the caller. I love the organization, by the way. Why? Well, there's a whole bunch of reasons why. It's deep, and it's deep in my heart and in my soul. I just see the logo of the organization.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to come out of my shirt to give, and I wish I could give more and all. But okay, that's forget the organization.
Yeah.
It's you.
Mm-hmm.
So your name is Johnny Fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Fundraiser calls up me,
Yeah.
the loving donor who filled up a form, and I pick up the phone. Why? I mean, nobody picks up the phone anyway.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't start with a phone call, but okay. Start with the phone call. It's the quickest way from A to B, and I pick up the phone, and Johnny Fundraiser says, hi, this is Johnny Fundraiser calling from ABC organization, and I got this form that says that you left a legacy gift in your estate plan, and I just wanted to reach out to thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You're welcome. Bye, I think, right? Okay. So, what?
Yeah.
Well, what the was that? So, I wanted to thank you. The donor's thinking, no, you don't.
You want more money or some money now, maybe?
You want? Yeah, what do you want? You want something. Oh, maybe if I stay on the line a little longer, I'll find out what you really wanted was to get that disclosure signed for your boss. Or you want more money. You want to ask me more money. What the fundraiser will say, I'm coming out of this whole thing. The fundraiser will say, hold on. No. You're treating me poorly, Greg. You're saying that I don't know my job, and you're saying that I don't know how to relate with people. Greg, what I really want, again, they're using the eyes.
Sure.
Because it's all about that. I want to build a relationship with the donor.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
I'm having an inner dialogue with Johnny Fundraiser, but no, you don't. Because if you did, you would never have started it off like that.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have an I and a me mentality about it. Let me get beyond the punchline now of what's wrong with all this is that I have a lot of empathy for Johnny Fundraiser. Okay? It's not fair, by the way. Now that I just shat all over all the fundraisers for like 10 minutes, it's not fair. I know you want to be the best fundraiser you can be. I know that you just want to relate to people. You want to build long-term relationships. I know that you want to help them and facilitate their giving and maybe even help them make a second legacy gift or a major gift. I know you want to do all that in the kindest way.
Mm-hmm. And they've been trained in this way for years and years, and that's all they really know at this point.
Unfortunately, too many are just on this hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Just going and going, and the leadership doesn't get it. They want what they want, and they're too far distanced from the donor. And the board, they don't know. And if you have a bad board or a board that's made up of non-donors, they know even less.
Yeah.
So then they're telling you what you should be doing. And then this whole script. So what's the solution?
Learn about the solution after this quick break.
This episode is brought to you by us here at MarketSmart and Engagement Fundraising by Greg Warner. In this quick break, I want to remind everyone to go to imarketsmart.com/exclusive-podcast-offer to download the Engagement Fundraising audiobook for free. This offer is only available to listeners of the podcast. It's our way of saying thank you for listening, and we really hope you enjoy the book. Once again, go to imarketsmart.com/exclusive-podcast-offer to take advantage of this promotion, available only to listeners of the podcast. Now, back to the episode.
Let's stay away from the tactics, because if you don't have the strategy right and the philosophy right, you can't just repeat stuff that I'm going to say here.
Right.
You have to understand in your heart, what's the strategy, what's the philosophy. Then you'll make up your own words.
The words will change probably based on who you're talking to.
Yeah. So let's start with the strategy and the philosophy, right? So philosophically, strategically, think about who your supporter is and what they might want. That's number one. Think about this person not as a target or a prospect. Think about them as a human being, like your aunt or your grandma or your mother, right? How would you want a fundraiser to treat them if they marked a box, right? If they were treated the way Johnny Fundraiser treated them, I just want to thank you. I just this, I just that. I need, I want. What are they going to say? They're most likely going to say, oh, I never checked that box. Or if I checked that box, it must have been an accident. I think I made a mistake. Well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And this is, by the way, how this whole thing started. It is a fundraiser. I was at one of our customers, and she said, every single person I call says that they made a mistake. I think it was a mistake. No, it's not a mistake. Everybody didn't make a mistake. It's you.
You inspire them to second guess themselves.
Yeah. They don't like your approach. So if you take a step back and you think, how do I want to do this? How would my aunt like it? How would my grandma, how would my mother, how would my sister, how would I want them to be treated? How would they want to be treated? Let's go to the law of reciprocity.
Yeah.
It's a magical thing, right?
You
need to put on your law of reciprocity hat and cape
Yep.
and superhero boots
Sure.
and recognize that everything is about what can you give to them.
And you've got a nice upper hand here. They just filled out a survey. So you have all sorts of information they told you about what they actually care about. And you can make that offer really pertinent to them, inviting them to visit to see this one particular aspect of your organization in action and things like that.
Yeah. So you're a disease-oriented charity with scientists working on a cure. Hi, Mr. So-and-so. This is Johnny Fundraiser. I'm calling from such and such. We got your survey back, and I noticed that you were interested in learning more about the scientific studies that we're doing here and the research and how your money is being spent to find a cure for XYZ. So I just wanted to reach out to you because I wanted to give you as much information as you might want, or videos or documentation, and sometimes we even have these really VIP kind of webinars whereby you can ask scientists questions about what we're doing on your behalf to help support the search for a cure. And I just wanted to reach out and see if you would be interested in anything like that, or at least having a minute or two discussion about things that you might be interested in so I can help connect you with that. Sir, can I just have a minute or two to ask you some questions? Well, that's very nice of you, Mr. Johnny Fundraiser. Yeah, okay. What are your questions? Well, first, I want to thank you for being a supporter. It looks like you've been a supporter for 18 years, and thank you very much. And now we got this survey back, remember? Do you remember that survey? Oh, yeah, I filled out the survey. Yeah, and it says here that you really care about our cause because your mother had the disease. I'm so sorry about that, Mr. Donor. Sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
I don't think we had a name for this.
We didn't have a name for the donor? That's not nice.
That's not nice. You should know the name before you call.
Yeah. All right. Do you get the idea? Use the information that you have about them. And I'm not talking like, well, you made 17 transactions in the past.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't be a scientist. Be a,
it's cold.
Yeah.
No. It's all about their heart and why they care and how you can connect them and be the facilitator of connecting them to the cause even more.
Yeah.
So your job is to give to them and find out how you can give to them. It's not about thanking them only. And by the way, it's not that I want to thank them. That's not what Johnny Fundraiser really should. Johnny Fundraiser really should be saying, I hope that they feel appreciated. It's my job to make sure that they feel appreciated. That's different than going through the motions and just saying, I need to thank them. I want to thank them. They deserve to be thanked.
It's a deeper level of thanks when you actually put something into it like that.
Yeah, because if you think about it that way, it makes you put on your thinking cap.
Mm-hmm.
What can I give to them so they'll really feel appreciated?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a thinking sport. This isn't about just doing stuff, running through the calls, saying thank you when you don't really mean it. You'll really mean it is if you look at the survey that they filled out and understand why they care, or at least have talking points so that you can ask them questions about why they care, how they would want to be connected, how they would benefit from a relationship with you. If you give to them, if you go in there, and we went strategic and philosophical, if you go into this whole thing recognizing it has nothing to do with what your board wants, your leadership wants, or anybody else wants, it only has to do with what the donor wants and how the donor would see value and how they would benefit, how they would win from having a conversation with you. One conversation, maybe two, maybe five, maybe meeting over the years. Everything needs to be looked at in that paradigm. What can I do for this amazing human being? And call them with that inquisitive, humble, loving nature of how can I be good to you? What can I do for you? How can I connect you? And my role, by the way, I'm Johnny Fundraiser. My role is to be your facilitator, your VIP cruise director. That's my job. Now, I always say nothing happens without trust. It's the cornerstone of right? So as the cornerstone in the foundation, if you call and say, well, I just wanted to thank you, or I just this, or any of that stuff, you're immediately losing trust. That's why they say that they didn't mark the box.
You're becoming robotic by just carrying out the motions without putting in any work to understand them.
Yeah. Who starts off a relationship with immediate trust? Nobody.
No.
So from the very first few seconds of your call, you've got to have a giving mentality. And you've got to be relevant to them, especially based on how they answer survey questions, if you're doing it right.
Yeah. Shows that you care about them.
Yeah. You took the time to research them. Now, I'm not talking about this prospect research crap, which is, I don't mean to, it's somewhat helpful, but oh, okay, so they just, got stock from their company. Or, okay, so they own 3 houses. Or, okay, so they're on the board of another organization. What does any of this really have to do with their heart? You need to get into their heart and their soul. And if you don't do that and you just do your prospect research knowing that they got money and that they checked a box and you need to do this or that, you're not going to build any trust. So you need to take a step back, think about the fact that your role is first to build trust and engage with them in a meaningful way that provides value and benefit to them, and prove to them that you are a trustworthy connector, facilitator between them and their mission of what they're trying to get done and your organization, which can do it on their behalf.
Yeah.
That's really it.
It's pretty simple. Just give to them and show that you care about them.
Yeah, sum this up. The first call, your goal should be to engage in a meaningful way that's value-oriented and beneficial for them, so much so that they will be thankful enough that they'll want you to engage with them again.
Yeah, even like an engaging conversation that they're learning about your organization, that's hugely valuable. Especially if they're older, they might just want to talk to you about your organization in a way that's not a sales pitch. They're already sold. They fill out the survey, spent their time. You don't have to sell them on anything.
And the truth is, you're not going to get any of that documentation and all that stuff. You're not going to get it on the first call generally.
Yeah.
And if you really want to build a relationship with someone, you have to go into the first call recognizing that it's all really just to help you get the second call, which is then the goal is to help you get the third call. And then someday when you have that relationship and it's set and they trust you, then they'll tell you anything that you need to know. So take a step back. I guess that's the big thing. Take a step back and think about, what do you really want? It's a long game here. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And if your leadership or your boss or your board is trying to make you do things in ways that you would never want them done to your aunt or sister or mother or grandmother, gotta send them this episode, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a step back. It ain't all about you and what your boss wants. It's just not cool.
No.
Thanks, Tim. That was fun.
Yeah, it was great.
Peace, bro.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Engage in Fundraising. If you like the show, make sure to review it on iTunes and pass it along to a colleague.
I also wanted to remind everyone to visit imarketsmart.com/exclusive-podcast-offer to download the Engagement Fundraising audiobook for free. Once again, that's imarketsmart.com/exclusive-podcast-offer.
Thanks again for listening to this episode of Engage in Fundraising.